All right, Coach, after the game, one of the things it seemed like you made a point to make is how one of their players performed well, dominated the game without hardly shooting the ball. Was that a message you were trying to send to your team? I mean, are they almost a little too high on themselves right now?
No, I don't think so. I just think that, you know, as a coach, you find really great value in that. And we had talked for 3 days how Mitchell, in a lot of ways, is the heart and soul of that team. He's kind of the blue-collar guy that keeps everybody together. And not necessarily at our team, but we need to have guys like that, because all the good teams do. And I think, you know, I think it's just a good lesson. We got younger guys, some younger guys that haven't played a lot. And finding your niche in ways that can impact your team positively is a big step in getting to where you want to get to as a player. You know, and some of that also is, you know, I have a great amount of respect for Jim Christian and what he's done there at Boston College. And sometimes players like that don't get the credit that they deserve unless other coaches talk about it. You know what I mean? No offense, media or fans sometimes don't look at that stuff, you know? So I think it's important, you know, because I love this game, I love guys like that, and they're critical, and they don't always get the credit they deserve.
Coach, Zacks played just under 20 minutes in 2 games, his first action since 2017. Where do you think he is in terms of getting comfortable out there?
He's still a ways away. You can't go 2 years without really playing in competitive situations and then just get out there. But he's shown more flashes. I think he also saw in that game maybe more opportunities to get to the basket instead of maybe settling for open threes. But we need him to shoot the ball for us and score. That's one of his you know, attributes that can help us. You know, and again, just getting in that live action, every game he's going to learn a little bit more, a little bit more, a little bit more. And I think that's only, you know, going to help him as the season progresses, become more and more a positive addition for us, you know, coming off the bench and playing significant minutes.
Have you been a part of a game like the Boston College game before, where you did have such a decided advantage in turnovers, and it didn't, that defensive effort that's always there, sometimes things happen?
Yeah, when you don't shoot the ball well, it usually compensates for it. And, you know, I was asked after the game about the low assist total. A little bit of that was the way they played, where they kind of really held on our wings and we were able to get to the basket. But then looking at it, you just don't get that many assists if when you pass the ball, the guy doesn't make the shot. You know what I mean? So you got to shoot the ball better too. So the combination of those two things. But if you would have told me we were going to force 28 turnovers, I would have said that we were going to be in good shape, you know. But we didn't shoot the ball well enough. And then those possessions where we didn't force a turnover, we gave up too many good looks, some easy baskets around the hoop and different things like that. And you know, we had 21 turnovers too. So again, we're +7 there, but we didn't take advantage of that +7.
Pardon me for not knowing the phrase, but what did you mean by overjuiced on defense?
We you know, when you're juiced up, jacked up, ready to go, I mean, you got the blood's flowing and you're out there and you're playing hard but we were maybe a little bit overjuiced, you know. So we don't deny passes, you know. We're in our gaps and more of a pressure on the ball, help off the ball. We were out of position at times, which led to them getting some easy baskets. You know, a little overexcited, a little overzealous in some of the stuff. We do have 2 guys who are great at gambling, you know, and anticipating plays. And we got to live with some of the bad things that happen if they guess wrong, because they don't do it very often. But when you play a really good team, they're able to take advantage of that. Now, they still have to finish the shots, and unfortunately, Boston College was able to do that.
Coach, saw Lex at the Boston College game in his
Mhm.
wheelchair, so he's had his surgery.
Yep.
To the extent that you can you update us on how the surgery went and when his physical therapy starts?
Yeah, surgery went extremely well. Doc was really pleased with the work that he had to do in there. Feels he'll come back stronger, better, and without any residual issues whatsoever, which is really positive because he's got a long future of basketball in front of him. In this day and age, it's different now. I mean, rehab starts the next day in terms of moving that thing around and working on the flexion and what they call flushing it out, getting all, so he's already started his road to recovery right now. First couple days he had some, pain, discomfort, can't get around quite as well. But it was hard seeing him in that tunnel, and sometimes my best staff member, the person who gives me the best information, is my wife. She said she's never seen Lex without a smile on his face, and he didn't have one on the whole game, and so you knew he was hurting, and we all were hurting, but he's going to bounce back, and we're going to be right there with him every step of the way.
David said the other day that trying to get Antu more involved, and he thought that he needed to feed the post a little bit better. I mean, without having Lex in the fold, how do you feed the post better?
Hey, well, one, we got to push the ball, throw the ball ahead, and get some early post-ups before the defense is set. In addition to that, post-ups, is kind of a gray area term. Big guys got to be ready for drop-off passes around the basket. We can't have dunk opportunities or layup opportunities and not finalize those plays, so those guys got to become integral parts of our offense by playing off our guard penetration and creating space so they can get the ball dropped off. The other thing is, the offensive rebounding is a big part of that as well. In this day and age, college basketball and in pro basketball, big guys are asked to run the court, roll on ball screens, get in position for drop-off passes. We do have, two guys in Antu and Mike, who if they get the ball one-on-one in the post are pretty good, you know what I mean? But with Boston College pressure on the perimeter, it was a little more difficult to feed the post. That's why we got so many drives to the basket. Now the bigs have to play off those drives. So we can't just live on drive and kickouts. We got to get some drive and drop-offs as well.
And we talked so much about Popovich the other night. I mean, what can a guy like Mike take away from watching him and playing against him?
Well, I think one thing is, as a senior, Popovich is in tremendous condition. He can run, he can, defend, switches on some ball screens, different things like that. But he can also learn that now he's one of the best players in the ACC, and 4 years ago, no one would ever thought that. He's improved every year. If you the TV copy of the game had the stats from 3 to 8 to 14, now 17 or 18 this year. That's the progression, and that's understanding that there is a process and there is a progression to getting to where you want to be. Because the most important thing is at the end to be there. You know what I mean? And I think Popovich has done a great job of that.
Coach, two-part question. One, when you watch video of IUPUI, how impressed were you with Elijah Goss? I mean, he just seems to, if he doesn't get the rebound, he's around the ball. And number two, the early signing period starts tomorrow. You've got one player that's already verbally committed. Do you think you'll get another verbal commit in the early period or in spring?
So in the first one, IUPUI, obviously with two dynamic scorers on the perimeter, and Isaiah Williams at the 4 is a very difficult matchup, and Goss is as good an offensive rebounder as there is around. Played, I think, 14 minutes last night and had 11 rebounds and 12 points in 14 minutes of play. We're going to have to do a great job on the glass. Got to do a really good job defensively, taking away threes, because with those perimeter players, they can really stretch you. We have to play better. We have to defend better. We have to play the game how we're supposed to play it for 40 minutes. And if we do that, we're always in good shape then. We're always in good shape. Early signing, we're excited about tomorrow. As of right now, we are trying to get another signee before the end of the early signing period. So our hope is to sign one tomorrow and see where we're at with the second one. We have 2 scholarships available in this early signing period with Antoon and LaQuincy both graduating.
It's kind of a small sample size, just a handful of games so far.
Mhm.
But what personality do you see this team forming?
Well, you know, I still think we're a tough, physical, high-energy type team. Now we need to have that all directed in terms of playing the game how we're supposed to play it and utilizing that and taking advantage of that. That was the thing. There's no question we played hard in the game the other day, but we did not capitalize on some of the effort that we make out there. The offensive rebounds, the forced turnovers and steals. I think we missed 4 or 5 open court layups in that first half alone. And probably we should have been up in that first half, but we didn't finalize the first half the way you're supposed to. So we're still kind of a work in progress with some of the curveballs that have been thrown to us. So now we need to continue. We can never lose our identity in terms of the toughness and the physicality that we play with and the effort and the intensity that we play with. Now we need to corral that, always going in the right direction. If we can do that, we'll keep getting better.
This really starts your conference slate with the Cayman Islands Classic. I mean, this is kind of, I mean, obviously Boston College didn't really
Yep.
test, but
Yep.
this is what you wanted. This is what you're getting into.
Yeah, no doubt. And you look at this next couple weeks stretch, you know, and a little unique and 7 days off between one game to another, which I think is going to be needed for us. So we got to finish this first stretch, this first 3-game segment, the right way by playing well against IUPUI. Then we get a little time, and then we're playing a very good Wofford team, and then we head out to the Cayman. So in those first 3 weeks of the season, we'll have a lot of answers to some questions that we had going in. The challenge is going to be is once we get those answers, if they're the ones we like, are we able to build on it? And if they're ones we don't like, are we able to change them? And that's going to be the biggest challenge. But putting ourselves in this position with the quality of competition that we're playing is going to be a really, really good evaluation piece for us to use. Either, okay, we're in a good spot, but this is some things we need to kind of keep getting better at, or we're not where we want to be, so we got to really pick it up, and we'll find that out in the next 12 days.
That's good.
All good?